I got the first bit of the orchard planted. This will all be planted eventually. But I put 4 persimmons in the ground. I skipped every other planting spot so I can come back with another overstory tree, because these flags are 24 foot apart for the overstory tree species I'm going to put in here. The persimmons could be grown as understory or overstory, but on this row I want them to be nice, big, bountiful trees that aren't really in too much competition with anything. And then I'll come back in between each persimmon and put a bigger mass tree, something that has hardwood or wildlife value. On this row it'll probably be black walnut, but I have chestnuts and pecans and oaks and stuff to choose from. I'm even thinking about maybe getting like some honey locust or some hickories or hicans from somewhere else to plant in here. But this row is more likely going to be black walnut, persimmon, black walnut, persimmon. But then these are 24 foot apart. I'm going to come in between each one, so every 12, and put an understory tree species. And it'd probably be something like a pawpaw tree, but I'm also thinking like redbuds, dogwoods, crab apples, Allegheny chinkapins, maybe mulberries, but mulberries are like with the persimmons, you could grow them as overstory or understory, and I'm not sure what I want to do there yet. Also not too sure if I want to grow mulberries here. Same with wild plums, because they sucker a lot. I may put them up in the yard to replace some trees so they can be mowed around and watch more carefully than what this orchard will be. But yeah, to be overstory every 24 foot, understory every 12, and then every 6 in between the overstory and understory, I'm going to do a bush or shrub type species. It's perennial. So I'm thinking like our native button bush, because they have really good wildlife value. They already grow in this field. Our native rose mallow, which is a wild type of hibiscus, they already grow in this field. They come up every year. They're perennial. And I'm thinking maybe some of our wild blueberry species, maybe some of our wild azalea species, you know, things that grow here natively and will be a good shrub species, but won't compete with any of the trees, and will help keep the rows where they aren't as weedy, provide as much shade as possible on these rows, because we're just going to mow a strip down each side. We don't want too much like zigzagging, trying to get weeds and stuff that are in between these trees. And then this orchard is going to be planted like an agro-forestry planting, and the agro that would be done between the forestry here isn't going to be agro. It's going to be these native grasses and wildflowers that are already here. So it'd be planted and maintained like agroforestry planting, but it'd be a native food forest. All the forestry trees will be native stuff, and the stuff being grown between the rows instead of a agricultural crop will be this native grass and wildflower that's already here. That way this will be fully beneficial, the wildlife will all beneficial to me and my family for fruit and nut production and timber harvest in the future. But that's it. We'll have overstories that'll be heavy in chestnuts and fast growing like swamp oak species, like swamp white oaks and swamp chestnut oaks, and wild pecans, wild hickories, maybe some hicans, some honey locust, things that have good timber value, good wildlife value.